Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, class. How are you today? Stay healthy to the end this pandemic. My name is Prayogi Satriawan, and we will try to explain about the characteristics of effective listening. Basically, good listeners can be defined as those with sensitive context, language, and nuances who do not view listening as a pause before they speak. Good listeners have several characteristics. The first, use attentive body language, for example, nodding frequently. The second, look into the speaker's eye. This can cause positive things between speakers and listeners. Looking at the other person's eyes is a form of respect for what he is talking about. The third characteristic is responding to the speakers. Maybe you can respond to speakers like this. Oh, yeah, wow, nice, and something like that. And the fourth characteristics is asking questions regarding information that is considered unclear. The fifth is trying to predict the direction of the conversation. And the last is silence while the speaker provides information. Now, we will move on to the different sources of listening. Teacher talk. Teacher talk can be said to be an input student which is more mentally and intellectually constructive. There are two important aspects to teacher talk. The first, planned input. Planned input is a systematic. The teacher delivers information in the form of an announcement that has been designed in a coherent and clear manner. If there is a misunderstanding by student in receiving information, it will certainly fatal consequences for the action they will take. Next, semi-planned input. Semi-planned input is more about a pedagogical sequence prepared but not written by teacher. As an example, photos. The teacher shows some of his photos and talks about them. Student guess which person in the photo is being described, and after that, the teacher brings up vocabulary to describe people. The last part of the teacher talk is spontaneous input. Enthusiastic words, humor, or a constructive comment, but it happens with spontaneously. For example, when a teacher sees a sadness that is present on the face of his student, the teacher then gives the motivation. Come on, cheer up. The problem is there to be resolved, not to be lamented. That's all from me. The next material will be discussed by my colleague Lia Ardila. Lia Ardila, please welcome.
Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Lia Ardila. I will continue the material about different sources of listening. Okay, I will explain about student talk and guest speakers. Student talk. There are any number of things that students can speak about in group that will develop their listening as well as their speaking skill. One of these is anecdote, which are personal and therefore tend to be interesting, real and concrete rather than abstract. There are 4 ways to ensure that students really are listening, namely, the first, jigsaw task with an information gap. It means individual students have picture or part of a text. In group, they paraphrase their text or describe their picture and together form their story. The second, reporting back. Before the activity starts, the teacher tells the student that they will have to report back on what was said. And the third, making a presentation. The teacher asks the student in group to present something that the other student need to. And the last, secretaries. The teacher assigns the role of secretary to one student. And then next, guest speakers. A native speaker guest, there is an opportunity for students to hear about a foreign culture. By bringing native speaker into class, this will be very good for students who are studying listening because they hear directly what is talked about native speaker and they can listen well. One way of planning a lesson with a guest speaker involves a number of stages. The first, introduce the guest. The second, ask the student to write down any topic they would like to hear discussed. And the third, record the conversation. And the fourth, at the end of the conversation, ask the student to summarize what was said. And next, ask the student if there were any new press that they noticed. And next, play the recording. And the last, ask the student to discuss the same topic in pairs or group followed by feedback. Okay, that's all.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Vira Santika with student number 1701. Okay, I will continue the material about songs. As we know, music or songs brings other dimensions, art and emotion to many people. The students, in particular, who may feel shy when pronouncing words in a foreign language in front of their peers, will feel less intimidated. The words are those of a famous singers. And next, the advantages of using songs. The first, songs can be enjoyable, memorable, and stimulating for the students. The second, songs help students focus on aspect of pronunciation. Songs tend to contain some predict, like to predict vocabulary. And the last, songs often contain stories to which can be motivating. And according to Brewster and friends, there are many advantages to using songs. First, the song is a linguistic resource. The song becomes a medium for introducing new languages, as well as for strengthening of grammar and vocabulary. Songs can also be used to improve abilities student pronunciation. Second, songs are effective or psychological research. Third, songs are cognitive research. Fourth, songs can be culture research and social research. Okay, next, internet. I'm sure we all know and use the internet here. The internet or interconnected network is a global communication system that connects computer and computer network around the world. The internet is another tool in the teacher's box. Prophecies that computer will one day replace teachers have yet to come true, and show no sign of doing so. However, students who log on to a number of English language websites can find much that is of use. Okay, next, there are a number of benefits when use the internet, including the fact that students can practice listening alone in their own time. The activities are repeatable, which means that students can work at their own pace, and there is also scope for both intensive and extensive listening. Okay, next, disadvantages when use the internet. Of course, is that computers generally cannot have a conversation or replicate the human interaction that allows people to learn languages. Okay, I think it is enough from me, and I'm sorry for my mistakes. And the next material will be explained by my partner.
Okay, I will explain about textbook recording and television, video, DVD, and radio. In textbook has several many types, such as news bulletins, interview with expert in theater, story, joke, songs, dialogues, discussion, and soon. Textbook provide listening, also explanation materials that give students a way in to the recording, witness them through its difficult and provides at the end. Textbook recordings also have a degree of integration the topic of syllabus, grammar, or vocabulary that has been recently studied extend the topic of the unit. There is another benefit that will be apparent to the teachers with access to interactive with their boards. Okay, the next material about television, video, DVD, and radio. The advantage associated with using this media are that the material is frequently authentic, topical with real world information, and that with television and video. Video is a visual aspect, and video is dynamic in that it presents moving image, a major bonus for students with short attention spans and for those who can read or write well. And it provides a ready-made for young learners. In DVD, we can even avoid the long wait which we endorse with cassettes as they double back in themselves. DVD will take you straight to the scan your request. And the next disadvantage of using media such as the radio and television include money that we have already seen with authentic materials. The level is frequently too high. He extra might be culturally incredible. The teacher has to dissect the teaching sequence.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fardila Yolanda. I will continue the material. I will explain about types of comprehension exercise. Comprehension check usually consisted of list of questions. Currently suggests we need to ask our students to do something with the information they hear. Discuss, complete, notes, choose and draw, and etc. How to create the test. Methodological as with most methodological approach. 1. Retest. The teacher introduces the test and maybe text the student listen to practice before attending. 2. Task cycle. Planning. The student do the test. Secondly, they plan how to explain the procedures. Report. They tell the class how they achieve the test and compares result. 3. Language focus. Analysis. The class focus on useful language during completion of the test.
Okay, that's all for us. Thanks for watching our video and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.